All right, what's up? So here for just a Q&A. So we're just going to wait for some people to show up on the live stream, and y'all can ask any questions that y'all want when it comes to fitness, health, nutrition, business, whatever the case can be. Because I know I've answered a few questions on my story, so I thought it'd be a good time to go ahead and do the same on the live. So any questions that you have, just definitely let me know, and I can answer those questions for you. Hey, what's up, DeBras? What's up? How you doing? The same on the live. So any questions that you have, just definitely let me know. Thank you so much. I can answer those questions for you. Hey, what's up, Bros? What's up? How you? Thanks for the respect. Truly appreciate that. How do you feel about sunscreen? I fear says, how do I feel about sunscreen? What do you use for your skin? To be honest, when it comes to sunscreen, I think it's perfectly fine. Like I've heard of stuff, people saying like there's chemicals and stuff like that in sunscreen, but to be honest with you, I think you're talking to the wrong person about sunscreen because I am black, right? So I don't really need to focus on sunscreen that much. What I use is just coconut oil, and coconut oil actually helps with protection of the sun, and then also me having darker skin, having melanin in my skin, it helps with the sun as well. So I don't, my skin's not that sensitive to the sun. But when I do need it, and I'm being honest with you here when I say this, sometimes if I'm out in the sun for a very long time, and let's say I feel like my skin is getting a little burnt or it's getting a little sensitive, I just use regular sunscreen, and I just put that on, you know. But it's not something. I mean, I always have it, but it's not something I usually run to all the time. So unfortunately, you know, I can't really answer that question that well. But I don't know how far the effects of sunscreen is either good or bad for you. You said Dr. Yankee or Yaki said one of the biggest herbalists said to use grape seed oil. So, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, you could. I guess, you know, yeah. I mean, you could use that for your skin. Um, I usually do, like I said, coconut, but yeah, I guess you could use that. Do you have any reason why? You know, definitely let me know. Um, Debra says, "What is the best fruit to eat to get rid of inflammation?" Some of the best fruits to eat when it comes to inflammation is going to be, it's not really a fruit, but you know, it's more like a root. So like ginger, turmeric, these are really good for inflammation. Now fiber helps with inflammation as well. So you could do like strawberries, blueberries, like a lot of berries, like they're high in fiber, and they're very nutrient dense. So that can also help with inflammation as well. But and I talked about this yesterday too. But when it comes to inflammation can come from many different things. So it could come from stress. It could be too much fiber. It could be how you prep your foods as well, like for spinach or black like beans, how you prep them. Some people might have sensitive stomachs to oxalates and spinach. And now this is really rare, but if so, you can, like, you know, obviously cook them, and that helps break down oxalates. It's same thing with lectins, you know, in beans. You know, if you don't soak your beans right, that some people are sensitive to that. So those are certain things. But and then you also have stress as well, where you know, you could be bloated and create inflammation in the stomach. And if you're talking about inflammation in the stomach, um, then yeah, like stress can play a big role, and that could be, you know, having better sleep, maybe improving your stress management, like sleep. Also, I'm trying to think, meditation if you're stressed throughout the day, maybe even taking a quick nap, things like that. So hopefully that helps. Oh, I don't know how you say your name, but you said, would you agree that people's obsession with animal protein is killing them from diseases and cancers, and that plant protein is much more healthier? My belief is that overconsumption of animal-based protein does lead to diseases and cancers. But I don't think so. When you say obsession, I would replace that word with overconsumption. Because I don't want someone who just enjoys animal-based proteins and then say a statement stating that just eating meat leads to diseases, to cancers, because it's all about portion control. It's all about balance. So when it comes to animal protein, if you're able to lower the consumption of that and then incorporate some plant-based proteins and plus just a whole foods plant-based diet, like that can really help overall. Um, because one of my favorite studies is the Blue Zone study for people that has longevity, and it states from the Blue Zone study that people that lived as cetarians, people who lived over 100, they ate mostly a whole foods plant-based diet, which was 90 to 95% of the diet was whole foods plant-based. So obviously that 5 and 10% of the foods that they're incorporating into their diet is animal-based. So I do feel that if individuals who eat an animal-based diet also incorporate more whole foods and be on a high fibrous diet, that's just as healthy as well. You know what I mean? So it's definitely up to you. You then I fear says, do you eat fish? I heard some vegans eat fish for omega or something. I personally don't eat fish. I eat 100% whole foods plant based diet, so I don't personally consume fish. So if and the thing with vegans is that someone who's vegan, they don't eat any type of animal byproducts, and someone who labels themselves as a vegan is more for an ethical purpose. So, like they're vegan for animal liberation. You know what I'm saying? Like it means more than just food. So, someone who says that they are vegan, they're using that word in the wrong aspect. They're mostly, if someone who eats fish with a plant-based diet is considered as a pescatarian, and that's how I started before I went fully plant-based. I went on 100%. I went pescatarian first, and then I transitioned on a plant-based diet. All right. So hopefully that answered your question. It said Dr. Sebi is the biggest herbalist, and he said he had fish in his bowl every now and then, and that's why I asked. Oh, well, I don't know so much about me. I know about Dr. Sebi, but I don't know how deep about his diet. So, you know, if he did, like, that's fine. But here's the thing: if let's say you're trying to get your omega-3, 6, and 9s on a whole foods plant-based diet or on a vegan lifestyle, you can get it from ahi flower oil. That's a great that is a great omega-3, 6, and 9. And also as well, you can do like flaxseed oil. So those are like the best of the best when it comes to getting your omega-3, 6, and 9s. I mean, obviously you have other healthy fats like avocados and you know, your nuts and seeds, but the best of the best will be like flaxseed, chia seeds, hemp seeds, and also ahi flower oil. Those will be like some of the top omegas to get your omega-3, 6, and 9s. All right, and then someone also mentioned overconsumption, and they're talking about the animal-based diet. Someone who eats a moderate amount of animal protein might have lower risk, but I believe a lot of Americans go over the recommended daily allowance of protein. I believe so too, and that's only because we do have, now using the word obsession. In America, we do have a little bit of obsession, or we over exaggerate how much protein we need to consume, and we don't need to consume so much. A lot of people, I've witnessed people who was consuming about 200 grams of protein just because they weigh 200 pounds, but that 200 pounds wasn't all muscle. It was majority body fat. They're like 30% body fat at 200 pounds, means someone like that heavy with that much body fat don't need to be consuming that much protein. Mostly people that's eating a gram per gram of protein are usually bodybuilders or elite athletes, which is not the everyday person. So I do feel the average American who's not an athlete shouldn't be consuming, or it's really unnecessary to be consuming gram a gram. I do believe they should be consuming a little bit less than that, maybe 0.8 gram per lean body weight. And I like using lean body weight because that's what you want to really focus on the most. Then someone asks, what's your favorite vegan meal by chance? My favorite vegan meal, I would say sushi, vegan sushi, that from Love Life Cafe. That's my favorite, by far. Sometimes it's Planta, because Planta has been stepping it up as well. So it's really between those two when it comes to their sushi menus. But right now, Love Life Cafe is temporarily shut down. So I would say Planta do have the better vegan options since they are still open. So I would say the vegan sushi is really good from Planta. And then someone asked, did you stop eating meat only for health reasons? No, I stopped eating meat for ethical reasons and for health. So for me personally, I stopped because I was in the military for over 8 years. And to make a long story short, I witnessed how humans treat each other in the worst way possible. And I saw a lot of the treatment and how people dealt with each other the same way with animals. And one of the things that really got to me was basically when I saw how a life ceased to exist from a living being. And it's the same thing that I saw when it comes to an animal in a factory farm. It struggles for its own life. It wants to live. It doesn't want to die. And I see how we created like factory farms more of a business versus like thinking of the individual. So that's why I decided to go whole foods plant-based and live a whole foods plant-based diet. So hopefully that answered your question. But when it comes to like my business and my program and stuff, like we don't run it through ethics, we run it through health. Like that's the point. So we do have clients who do consume animal byproducts and stuff like that, and we don't judge those individuals. We welcome everyone to work with us so they're able to be healthy, because that's the primary goal, is to help others. So not to push my personal message on everyone to make them be vegan, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's something that I do. Let's see. Someone asks, Black Queen, can you give us a good low carb chocolate protein shake recipe? Yeah, sure. So first you just need a chocolate protein. I hate being so bland about this, but let's see. Because my go-to would just be like, well, you could get probably more likely a vegan chocolate protein shake and just add water or soy milk like that. That could definitely could be an option. But we like, let's see, chocolate caramel smoothie, plant-based. So let's see. Yeah, so what you could use is like a banana, some almond milk or oat milk if you want some creaminess. Obviously, a chocolate protein, some almond butter, some dates that's unpitted, uh, then a tablespoon of cacao, some sea salt, vanilla extract, and then that's it. And then you just pretty much blend it all together, and you have that. So the carbs are kind of low. It is like, depending on the protein powder, you could get it from between 30 to 50 grams of protein, but with the carbs is going to be around like 30 to 40 grams. Fat's going to be around 10 to 15 grams. So that's what you're kind of looking at. But if you want to lower the carbs more, I mean, you could take out the dates and replace that with like some type of stevia, because then that's going to because you just need a sweetener. And truthfully, dates in a smoothie aren't that sweet. They're mostly sweet by themselves, but it's not that sweet to sweeten up a whole entire drink. But I would do like a sweetener, like pure, and then do that, because that will bring out more of that caramel taste that you're looking for. So that's something you could do. Or like I said, you could do just just look up a plant-based protein that already has like chocolate caramel in it. I think Truvani has one, I believe so, and then you could kind of add what you want to it, but that is a recommendation. Let's see. Do you ever make your own seitan? No, it is something that I keep every time I come on the live and someone asks me that question. I always respond back like, "Yeah, we're going to make a video making it." It's just that when it comes to video making, it's one of those recipes that it takes a very long time. It takes an hour and a half to 2 hours to make your own seitan. And this is why I don't make it, because first, for video footage, and when we have the film team here, like I only got 6 hours to film. 2 hours is already like gone just trying to make this recipe, and it's like when we're trying to film, we have to do that. We do the beginning, then put in, like, boil it, take a break, film some other content, come back, finish the rest, because it's like a 2-part cooking process. Like you have to boil it first and then you have to bake it. So it's like, it's so many things to do. And with the rate of content that I'm putting out, it's like, it's very hard to incorporate recipes that takes that long. And to be honest, another reason too is just because, like, a lot of the clients that I work with, it's not aligned to what I like. That recipe wouldn't be aligned to the clients that I work with. So a lot of my clients are very busy individuals. Like, they work a lot, they're busy, and I would say 80% of them, 80 to even 90% of those clients will not make their own seitan. They rather just buy it from the store, or what we're incorporating into our meal plan. We just was able to get an affiliate program because again, we're aligning to what the clients want with a meal prep delivery service. So we're affiliated with Built Meals, and they create meal prep delivery for clients. So that's something that we're going to start offering for our clients, because we even see some clients don't even have time to meal prep. So we're going to start sending them to Built Meals so they can have macro-friendly meals sent to them to their doorstep, and they don't even have to worry about even cooking the food. The only thing they have to worry about is maybe one meal, if that. But if they want their whole day, like the whole day or even the whole week of meals prepped and ready for them, that's our go-to. We'll still create a meal plan and give calories and macros, but if someone's that busy, we're going to go ahead and just offer them that meal prep delivery. So that's the real reason why I haven't created my own seitan recipe yet. It's just that it's right now, it's not convenient right now, especially for for the clients, and then the time to actually make the video. So hopefully that answers your question. Leap says, what do you think about adrenal testosterone? I don't even know what that is. You know, I have no clue what that is. Oh, you were thinking about getting a Carmel protein powder? Yeah, I think Truvani makes it, but like I could check real quick. Carmel. Yeah, I could definitely check real quick, but oh, excuse me. Let me see. Okay, I think Truvani makes it. No, Orgain actually makes it. Orgain has one. Up Nutrition has one. They have a caramel toffee macchiato, and that sounds pretty good. Oh yeah, Owen has one. Yeah, I totally forgot about Owen. Yeah, Owen has one. So Orgain has one. Owen tastes really good, and I see one from Legion. So I know the one from Orgain is going to taste pretty good. I haven't tried. I don't think I tried it. I don't remember. I remember having some of Orgain's protein shakes. It is pretty good. The Owen's fire because I've had that one already, but this is pre-made. Now the one from One Up Nutrition, the caramel toffee macchiato, it just sounds good. You know what I'm saying? It sounds good. And looking at the ratings, it got like 4.5 stars, and this is out of 4,000 ratings. 4,000 people give it a 4.5 stars, so it has to be good. Same thing with the Orgain. They give it about 4.5 stars. So yeah, I would just aim for that, because if you're trying to keep the protein, if you're trying to keep the carbs low, I would just get the protein powder that's already pre-made, like that. Okay. Let's see. About how much grams of proteins do you eat per day, and how many different types is it? Is it a big part of your diet? I don't know. I can't think on the top of my head how many grams of vegetables I eat per day, but it is a vast amount of it. So like I do consume like a lot of bell peppers, like 100 grams of bell peppers, maybe a cup of onions, a cup of mushrooms. I mean, that's usually my staples every single day. Usually, a whole cup of garlic. I usually eat that per day. Those are usually my staples. Like maybe about 5-6 days out of the week. Then also, like since it's summertime, I usually do this during the summer. I start doing cold pressed juices. It's just really refreshing, just tastes good during the hot season. So I do my cold pressed juices, which and I make like a lot of shots as well. So I have about like 2 or 3 shots a day, or I'll just have a glass of 1 or 2 glasses of juice per day. But usually I've been doing more shots, and shots are juice. Like it's just the size of the bottle. But I usually do about two shots a day, or maybe 1 or 2 glasses of juice per day. And when I'm doing the juices, like I'll tell you what I'm having now. Like some of the shots that I'm having is this one. The first one has carrots, ginger, turmeric. I think it has turmeric in it, and pineapples and apples, and then the second shot has beets, ginger, carrots, pineapple, and apples. So I'm doing that, and then what other vegetables do I have? I'm thinking like just pure vegetables, like at its whole state, and I think right now that's pretty much it, because I'm kind of like cutting a little bit, but then on my refeeds, then I would incorporate more like more like broccoli and black beans and cabbage and stuff like that. So I usually have that on my high days, which is mostly the weekends. I'll have more vegetables and more. If you're talking about just dark leafy greens, that's pretty much it. And spinach, yeah, I have a lot of spinach as well. About 81 grams of spinach per day, but that's usually what I have majority of the time. And the cool thing is that when it comes to um, those things, those vegetables, they're very nutrient dense, and you want to eat a good amount of it to make sure you're getting a lot of vitamins and minerals from everything that you're consuming. So like a small salad, I've said this before in multiple reels, but if you did like a small salad, like with romaine lettuce with a little bit of carrots, a little bit of onions and stuff, like you're not getting a lot of nutrients from that. But if you changed it out, that romaine lettuce, to like a big bowl of, let's say, kale, spinach, and arugula mix blend, like a triple blend with like a lot of carrots, a lot of tomatoes, a lot of onions, garlic, like you throw all those and you do a lot of it. Now you have a big hefty salad, and that's going to be very healthy, like very nutrient dense. And places where you can find like big salads, that's good. And I'm just going to name some restaurants off that's like kind of like franchises, like Cheesecake Factory. Their vegan salad is very healthy. Like they give you like such a big bowl, like it's huge, but it's very nutrient dense, especially if you get a healthy dressing. Because once you get the dressing, if you put some creamy dressing on there, you just ruined it. But if you got like balsamic vinaigrette, that's going to make that salad very healthy. They put a lot of vegetables in there. Or if you go to just salad, you could create your own salad. Some of their salads that's pre-made, like I think it's called a Southwest ranch salad or something like that, or a crunch salad. That's very healthy and it's very tasty. Or you could create your own, where you could do like that arugula, kale, and spinach blend, and then kind of do your own. Sweet Green is another place where you can build your own bowl, and you can add, like, now this is beyond salad, but you could do more. You could build like your own Buddha bowl. So usually you could build like a very strong base with a lot of dark leafy greens, and then build it up with like rice, sweet potatoes, chickpeas, like onions, like stuff like that. Even Bolay is another go-to place where you can build like your own Buddha bowl. So it's like Bolay and Sweet Green is like Chipotle, and Chipotle is healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's healthy, but Bolay and Sweet Green is healthier because you actually get some better. You get better choices versus at Chipotle you only have the tofu, rice, corn, avocado, and and romaine lettuce and maybe some salsa. I mean, it's healthy, but it's like it's not as nutrient dense versus like Sweet Green Bolay and how you can build your bowls, because you get the dark leafy greens, and you can get like chickpeas, and like you get, and they don't use so much oil either. Like they use better oil. That over there they use like, well, at Sweet Green and Bolay, like if you're getting the tofu, they cook it with like I believe with olive oil, but and same thing with Sweet Green, but like when it comes to the vegetables, it's more whole foods. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's, how do you deal with haters? I mean, to be honest with you, it depends on the day. Because majority of the time I just kind of ignore them, or if I do respond back, I respond back with like just some truth. Like if someone says like you're on steroids, I just say like I'm natty, and I take it as a compliment. You know what I mean? Like that's all I'll say. But if someone's just like name calling and just saying something like totally like off the wall, they're just like trying to bash me or make fun of me, I usually just ignore it, because you have to understand, when it comes to haters and stuff, like you have to understand this, like people that truly have true interest in you, is never going to really talk down about you. They're always going to try to bring you up. You know, people who talk down is usually people who's doing worse than you. You know, so something that is that they have that they it's something that they have some type of insecurity that they're reflecting upon you, and that's it. So like it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? And then also when you're on social media and you kind of understand the marketing game, it's like they're just helping with the algorithm. They're like the algorithm doesn't care if something's positive or negative. The algorithm just cares if there's a reaction, you know, like people are talking about it, people are reacting, they're looking into the video, they're watching. So while that person's hating, they're they're just, you know, they're just helping the algorithm to for the video to go out more. So, you know, your haters, you know, you need haters, you know, you need haters. And because they help you actually get better. You know, they help you get better. And also haters, you know, also give me a lot of good content idea, like the vegan police stuff. Like some of that is based off of the haters because, you know, when people talk shit and stuff, that's where the comedy comes from because I take it and then I twist it in a joke, you know, and that's where the vegan police, that's how the whole vegan police came because it was from the haters. The vegan police was born from haters. I just took all the negative things that people thought about people who's vegan and plant-based and stuff. And then I created a vegan police and it's like almost like I'm a kid. It's like this is what I would do or I wish would could happen, like in make believe. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it can work for you when you have haters, but that's how I take it. I don't take anything personally. I don't get into arguments or fights. Like even when the hater is writing like a whole like for that, I'm sorry. Sometimes like when I see a hater writes like a whole paragraph, and I think y'all follow me long enough, I hate writing and I hate reading long shit, especially if it's something that's not important. You know what I mean? You're better off sending me a voicemail, a voice note. But if you wrote a whole paragraph of just a bunch of hate, like I could scan through it. Once I see like the first few words, I'm like, I'm already scrolling, looking at the next one. Like they're wasting their own time. So I don't even put that much energy into it. I put more energy into the people that's positive, the people that supports my channel, the people that supports what I'm trying to do. Not so much energy into the hate, you know. So if you're creating like your own channel or something like that, and you have haters and stuff like that, focus more on the positive, the people that supporting your channel. Focus more on that, not the haters. Don't focus on that. And when you start building a bigger audience, you know, your community mostly takes care of it anyways. Yeah, and that's what I noticed. Like sometimes the community, they'll handle the haters. They'll just they because they've been following me for such a long time. They'll be like, let me take care of this guy, and then they'll say something that makes sense. They most of my community won't say anything negative, but they'll just respond with some true facts and just take care of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't pay too much attention, but that's how I deal with it. You know, it really doesn't bother me. And I was in the military, so it's like I've been called way worse. And the only difference between haters and the military is that at least in the military, like they were screaming and saying that shit in my face. You know what I'm saying? Not online and with a ghost profile and hiding their identity and all the shit. You know what I mean? Like you know, it's weak. It's weakness. You know. What's a good vegan replacement for honey to help with outdoor allergies? You could do bee pollen. Bee pollen is considered vegan, so you could do stuff like that for allergies. So that would be a great replacement when it comes to that. Yeah, the pine pollen. Yep, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see with Instagram. All right. I guess no more questions. All right, cool. So if there's no more questions, oh, here it is. How do you stay motivated to hit the gym every day? Um, well, the motivation has to transmute into discipline, you know, and because motivation is a feeling. Like I'm gonna be honest, as long as I've been going to the gym, like actually going to the gym, working out since I was like 13, no, 15 years old, right? Since I was 15 years old, I started hitting the gym. I'm about to turn 40 on Saturday, right? So that is a long time, right? So I've been going to the gym for a very long time. And it just has to become a discipline and make it part of your lifestyle. So you have to have a reason why you need to figure out your why. Like, why do you want to go to the gym? You know, and your why can change a lot. Like when I was 15, my why was because all the athletes was getting attention from girls and I wasn't, because I was a band geek, right? So, and literally I was a band geek. I played the alto saxophone for many years. Okay. So like the thing is that I was like, well, how can I get some girls? That was the why. Let me hit the weight room. So one summer, I remember after freshman year in high school, I was like, this got to change, you know. And I changed a lot of stuff, you know. I'm just being honest. I changed a lot of things, like because I went from North Miami Middle. Now, this is this little background story. Like, I was going to North Miami Middle, and then in North Miami Beach, right, Florida, which was majority like a black school, right? So I used to wear like FUBU urban clothes. Then I moved down. Then for high school, I went to JP Taravella, which is mostly a white Hispanic school, right? So the FUBU clothes in freshman year wasn't really cutting it. I was like the only it wasn't that many black dudes. And when there was a black guy, like they were more, you know, dressed better, you know, more preppy. And back then in the 90s, the preppy look like Abercrombie and Fitch and what was it? I came American Eagle. That was the thing that everyone was wearing at Taravella. I'm the only dude walking around with FUBU and baggy clothes. Like seriously. So I was like, man, I'm getting no girls. Like I look like a thug here. I need to change shit up. So after freshman year, I was like, all right, listen, like I started going on Tommy Hilfiger, going on like American Eagle. And then I was like, I need to start hitting the gym because like no one's paying attention to me. Like no girls are paying attention to me. So I cleaned up my clothing. I cleaned up and I started hitting the gym. Like once I started hitting the gym, I started cleaning up my clothing. But I'm still who I am, but I want to adapt to the area and try it. You know, again, my why was important. I was 15. Like, what else was I thinking about? You know, it was like school wasn't the problem. It was just like I just wanted a girlfriend, right? So like then I started getting attention. And once I started getting attention, I wasn't just getting attention from girls, but even guys, like and not in like in a weird way, but they were just like, hey man, like you're looking jacked. Like, what are you doing? So I was getting more friends, more attention from everybody. Like, because even like, you know, people wanted to know my workout routine, what I was doing. You know, people were inviting me to more parties. Like, even the football coach wanted me to join the junior varsity team for the school for football. Like, yo, you should join. You're looking crazy, Jack. You know, so like that was the why. But then that why changed because once I started getting that attention, then and I liked it, then it was like now I need a different purpose because now I'm getting what I want. I got more than what I wanted, but it's not the sole purpose of why I keep working out. So then my why changed and transmuted to like putting it into work. So when I say that, it transmuted because that's when I was started getting like when I was in high school, I joined the junior ROTC program, which is Junior Recruitment Officer Training Corps, right? So it's like part of the military. It's like Boy Scouts, but military style. So I joined that, and then I saw myself like in the future, like out of high school, there was a part of me, a big part of me was like, I don't know if I really want to go to college right out of high school. I might want to join the military. And big part of me was like, it might be the Marines. So my why changed because, now I'm looking for a bigger, oh, you were in ROTC too? Yeah, nice. So like my big thing was like, I need to get ready because I'm going to go to boot camp and I can't be no wimp, right? So then after that, I started really hitting the gym hard and started training more and getting ready for military. And then one thing changed to another. Now, fast forward, a couple years fast forward, now I'm in the military. I'm in the Marine Corps. Now exercise and working out is part of the culture of being a Marine. Like I'm here to protect the country, So my why now is like I need to be fit and I need to be strong because when I joined, this was during the whole Iraq, the 9/11 Iraq thing going on, the Iraqi war. So now it's now the why is different. First, it went from girls to getting ready for the Marines to now being a killing machine about to go to war. You know what I'm saying? So then when it changed to that, now my why is like, I need to be ready to kick people's ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not getting captured. This is for survival. Like seriously. So I was hitting the gym. Like you don't even understand. Like I was hitting gym like 5-6 days out of the week, and 3 days out of the week I was hitting the gym twice. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it was. And then fast forward a couple years later, when I got out of the military completely, now I'm like, the workouts is already part of my life. I used to do it for survival. I did it for multiple different reasons, but it's part of me. But that's when I wanted to give myself a challenge because when I got out of the military, then the workouts were just to maintain. It wasn't to do anything else. And I was going to the gym and I reduced the amount of times I was going to gym. I was doing like maybe 3-4 days out of the week. The excitement was gone. I didn't really have a why. So my why was mostly just to maintain the physique that I have and just be healthy. Because I know like I don't want to be unhealthy for sure. I know how that feels. It sucks, right? So then after that, that's when I joined bodybuilding. And then bodybuilding gave me another why, another reason to train more, like a lot harder and more aggressive. Because now I'm in an actual sport where like working out is part of the game. It's like building your body, building your muscles, being ripped, understanding nutrition a lot better. So that's where it led to. And then, and right now, I don't even know if I said this publicly or not, but I don't think so. I think this is the first time I said it publicly. But what I'm doing now, after all the years of bodybuilding, okay, I'm transitioning into cycling. Okay, so that's what I'm getting into now, and I'm going to quit bodybuilding. Okay, so I don't even know if I said this publicly yet. Maybe this is the first time. I know I haven't made a video yet, but on it, but like I'm transitioning to that sport, into the cycling world. That's so like, because I'm turning 40, I got injuries. I got things going on. And I know some people's like, man, you look like you're in 20s and 30s. Yeah, but when you're 40, I might look like it, but I feel it, so it's like, so the thing is like, I have a couple injuries and stuff like that. Nothing like bad, or I've been hiding it from people and stuff like that. it's just things that my body, it's just a wear and tear from like lifting hypertrophy. And this is something I always knew that was going to happen anyways, but now it's happening. So it's like lower back pain, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't have it now, you know, but I had to go through 4 months of physical therapy. And I mentioned him on my Instagram when I had the lower back pain, but his name, what's his name again? Oh man, I can't even think of the dude's name. Is it like man, this is really bad. What's his name again? Because I want to give him a shout out for sure. Was it man, damn, I forgot his name, but like I feel so bad about this. But I work, he's a really good dude, but he's on social. I met him. I saw him on Instagram. He's like, he specializes in hip flexors. He helped me recover my lower back pain after just 12 weeks working with him. And he has a 16-week program. I think it's Alex. Is it Alex, or I know it starts with an A. Let me see. I know I have his number. Damn, I can't believe I forgot his name back. Alvin, that's his name. Yeah, Alvin. Let me find his Instagram. Yeah, Alvin Gao. So if you look up Alvin Gao, he's a lower back specialist. He helped me with my lower back, but then and see, I can't even think of his name. That's 40. But like, but the thing is that he helped with my lower back pain, and then even when I was able to deadlift and stuff like that again, but I noticed that there's times if I push myself with the deadlifts and the squats, at the volume I was training for bodybuilding, I re-aggravated. So I mean, Alvin made it like so much better, like night and day, because after 2023. 2024, yeah, after 2023, this is where the back pain was really like getting bad. And y'all might have seen videos of me wearing like a belt in my videos and stuff. I wasn't wearing the belt to look cool in those videos. I was wearing the belt because I had to. You know what I'm saying? I had to, because my back pain got so bad that I was wearing a belt to do a chest press or lat pull downs. That's when you know your hip flexors are jacked. And I knew I needed to find some help. But the problem was I was in prep and I didn't want to, because when you do physical therapy, it's like it knocks you off track for competition so badly. So I just kept grinding, and I was just like doing stretches, hip flexor stretches, everything I know with corrective exercises with lower back pain. And it would help, but it would keep coming back like 1 or 2 weeks later or some. And then it got to a point where I was stretching and doing corrective exercises literally every day. And to make a long story short, after that round of bodybuilding, that's when I got with Alvin, fixed my shit, and then went on an off season to try to see if I can get back to that volume of training because like the judges told me I need to build up my legs more, you know? So I started to do more of that training, and it would just re-aggravate it. It would just come back. And then with everything I learned from Alvin, I mean, I would do it and it would get better again. But I just got to a point where I'm just like, I don't want to get hurt. Like I don't want to be in pain. I just don't. Like it's not worth it. It's one of the reasons why I'm changing the sport. Because I'm just like, I did 11 years in bodybuilding, and you know, it's not worth it for me to just be in pain and dealing with this shit over and over and over again. Like this is far it gets, and I have to think. I had to kind of step back, and it's a big pill to swallow for someone like myself who's always active and like to do the best of what I do. it was a hard pill to swallow, but it was one of those things where I was just like, you know what? It's the age, it's all the wear and tear I put into the body for the sport, all the dieting as well, and I'm getting kind of tired of dieting as well. Like always, like, not being at low calories and stuff and doing steady state. Like I'm getting tired of it. I want to eat more food. So like, it's kind of good news that I'm doing more of a high endurance sport, because now I can like literally show y'all more better foods. So there's going to be, y'all going to start seeing a lot of changes on my social media channel. One of them is that, because you're going to start seeing like better Buddha bowls, like higher carb meals and things like that. More meals with lower protein, higher carbs, because that comes with the sport. Because when I train my marathon runners and stuff like that, and I spoke about this before, it's like when you're a high endurance athlete, you can eat more food because you're burning so many calories. And to me, I'm like, I'd rather be outside, riding a bike, having fun, listening to music, doing something completely different outside of the gym room. And I think working in the gym as well, not working in the gym, working at home as well, kind of made it bad working in the gym, because I feel like I'm always in a box, like I'm always inside something. Like, so I always say like indoors is like a box. Everything's like a box. So I go from one box to drive in a box to get to another box to work out. And it's like, I always feel I'm enclosed. So I want to be somewhere where I'm not enclosed. I want to be outside again. So, I can't help here, but I could definitely help where I train. And that's why I'm want to do that. Also as well, I know I like really tangented off this question, but another thing is like, also I want to be able to meet more people as well. I want to be able to talk to more people. Bodybuilding is just a lonely sport. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, no, it's cool. But like, but bodybuilding is a lonely sport, because when you kind of think about it, like if you think about bodybuilders, like think about some of your favorite bodybuilders, like who do you really see them around? Probably nobody. Some of them, nobody. And then others, probably just other bodybuilders. Now, someone like me who's a bodybuilder and vegan, woo, man, like it's really hard to find a lot of people that has both, and I've only, and the people that I know that actually has both and I actually enjoy hanging out with him is Ryan Nelson, but he lives all the way in Arizona. Every time he comes to Miami, like we hang out, we have the great time. Like he's the only bro I know. I wake up at 5 a.m. We can eat, like we could work out, eat, chill, like talk about shit. But other people, I don't have that same similarity. And when I'm saying this is like in the sport realm, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. There's not a lot of vegan bodybuilders. Exactly. So it's like you can't really relate to so many. And maybe some that I do know, I don't relate that well with them, So and it's not that they're a bad person. It's just like personality traits. It's like, so it's not saying that they're even a bad people, but personality traits. That's all. We're just not good compatible as like we're friends, but like not a friend I'm going to hang out with. You know what I'm saying? So little things like that. So that's why I'm changing the sport too, because with cycling and I've been doing running. I don't know if y'all been seeing the stories, but I've been doing some community runs and stuff like that for now, because I haven't gotten the bike yet. That I'm going to get the bike sometime this week or next week. So I'm just waiting for some funds to be moved around. But like I'm just waiting. But for sure, it's like it's there. Like I don't say things. I'm not going to say things if I'm not going to do it. But the bike should, because I wanted to get it even today. Like I sold some Tesla stocks, so that's like the moves that the money moves, And if y'all been following Tesla, I got out at the perfect time before all that shit went down, because that stock went to shit today. If y'all play the stock market, y'all know what I mean. Like I got out 2 days before that shit went down. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. Because like that thing tanked when a thing with Elon and Trump, like Tesla stocks tanked. But and I think it might go down lower too. But yeah. So Supreme says, how much are you expecting to spend on your bike? I mean, I don't even know if I should say it online. Like, let's just say it's a good bike. Like, it's a pretty good bike. I don't even want to say it online, but like, I'll just say this: like, the cycling world, the bikes are expensive. I'm not getting like the top level bike, but I'm getting mid level. I don't want to really say the price too much online. You know what I'm saying? But it is a mid level bike. I would say that. And once y'all see it, y'all can do the research. You know what I mean? But like, I kind of don't want to say it right now. No, it's not 10K. Yeah, but some bikes are 10K. Yeah, some bike. So, and here's a funny story. Like, I'm not getting. And for my first bike, I'm definitely not getting a 10K bike. But when you see these bikes that starts off at 10K, like this is already, you're entering like the pro elite levels. And when I saw this bike, I saw it was on sale, and I was like, man, it's only $1,000. Like, this is awesome. And the guy at the bike store was trying to show me all these other bikes that was like 2,000, 5,000. And I was like, okay, cool, but I like this bike. Why you keep showing me these bikes? I like this one. Right. And he's like, you want to test ride it? And I was like, yeah. So like, I'm riding around the city of Miami with it. I'm like, man, this bike's smooth, it's fast as hell. And like a cycle bike, I'm telling you, a cycling bike is a lot different than like a regular mountain bike. I'm telling you, night and day difference. Like when you start pedaling, that shit just like, whew, it moves. And the thing had like electronic shifters on there and shit like that. And I was like, man, there's like electronic shifters on bikes now. Like, what the hell? Like the bike game changed, man. Like, and when I say electronic shifters, on the cable to the old school bike with the mountain bikes, like you have the cable, you press the lever or you twist the knob and you feel the ching ching, and then you kind of like have to push harder. On this bike, the electric, you press the button, you don't feel no ching ching. It just slides right in. Like you don't even feel it changing. And then when you're pedaling, it's like you feel the intensity, but how you're going, it's like you're just pushing. Like you don't feel it. I don't know. It's weird. But when I rolled back, I was like, yeah, let's get it. He's like, all right, well, all right. So you want to get this like bike? It's like 10,000. And I was like, 10,000. What are you talking about? It's like 1,000. He's like, nah, look at the ticket price again, my friend. I looked at it. I was like, I missed the extra zero. I was like, holy crap, this is $10,000 for a bicycle, And he's like, yeah, but it was on sale. It was like 15K. I was like, God damn, 15K for a bike. Woo, this is crazy. I was like, nah, now I know why you're showing me the cheaper bikes. But yeah, these bikes are expensive, man. But like I said, I'm getting mid. It's like 5K, but I'm getting mid level. You know what I'm saying? But that's it. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. But these bikes are expensive. They are expensive. Let's see. Instagram options on one avocado a day. Yeah, I mean, you can have an avocado a day. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that if you have it a day. Yeah, it's a healthy fat. It's really good. I don't see anything wrong with that. Arlene says, how do I get motivated to get back in shape after 6 months of lots of bed rest? I broke my left knee and right arm, tired of not being able to even walk. Yeah, that's first I want to say that's crazy. Like, damn, you broke your arm and your knee. Well, yeah, so you basically can't even move. Yeah, that sucks. And I know how injuries are because I'm a person who loves moving. And I remember when one of my worst injuries was when I tore my Achilles tendon. But I still, at least I was still able to do arms and stuff, like I couldn't really do any legs, but I could do all upper body. But knowing that you broke both arms, you're not both, but your arm, your left knee and your right arm, yeah, it's like you really can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing I would say, and I'm going to make this answer short because someone already questioned it, but I'm going to say this very short, specifically for you though. But I would say that's your why. Your why has to be your motivation. So you pretty much, you have to say what you just said. Like, you're tired of not being able to even walk like I did before. You know, and the only way you're going to get back to how you used to walk is through training. So if you're tired, you have to be tired of being tired. And when you're tired of being tired, that's when you start getting shit done, because you're just tired. You're so tired. You're tired of being tired, So that's when you start getting shit done. And you have to like turn all that negativity into like all that, the laziness, the negativity, everything. You have to turn that into like fuel and make it more into motivation, because we all fall into funks. You know what I'm saying? We all get these feelings. Like, there's days I feel lazy, I feel tired, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do that. But the once you start doing it, if you just do it, you know what I mean? That's when you start building that discipline. You know what I'm saying? You're building that muscle to get stronger, and then you start having less days like that. So that's what you have to look at. Like, what you're feeling is the 6 months, all that 6 months being compressed of not doing anything. And probably in the beginning, you hated life. You were like, man, I can't move, I can't do nothing, I can't even go to the gym, whatever. But now then you fall into that place, like, because it's like with injuries, like every injury, it's like you're pissed, but then that piss evolves to like that reality, or this, like, you're like, yeah, well, this is it. Like, now we're literally going through it, like we have to heal up. So now you're just focused on recovering, getting better, and now you're in that path where you're like, yeah, I know I need to, I know I need to start moving again, but like, damn, man, it's been like 6 months and look at me, but that's the next chapter of your life. And just look at it like, even though you're living it, but if you kind of look at, sometimes I like to zoom out of who I am and look at myself almost from a third person, and say, if I was like writing my own book, writing my own story, how do I want to write it? And when I was injured, I was like, I want to make a comeback story where like I come back strong, so I can literally tell people like, yeah, when I got injured, I didn't gain weight, I wasn't out of shape. Like, I was able to even do a bodybuilding show literally the same year I got injured. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm telling you this because this is what I literally did. Like, with I tore my Achilles tendon at the end of the year, and by December I was on stage and I got second place at a pro show. I got second place at a pro show, and I did the whole prep by myself. And usually I would use my coach, Dave Bogan, my bodybuilding coach, Dave Bogan, to help me get ready for shows. But because it was something so personal for me, like I was like, I wanted it for me to do it by myself. Like, okay, it was like my own journey. I didn't want anyone involved in this story that I was writing for myself. And that's what I did, So kind of maybe that could help you out. Like, not just the tired being tired, but even pick a goal, like maybe have something that you would like to do to show the comeback. Like, and you're not just able to walk, like be able to walk like you did before, but maybe you'd be able to do even 10 times better. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe find something that could do like create that type of particular goal. Maybe that could just be it, or maybe you can find a sport, like the activity that maybe a trip, like something, pick something, a photo shoot. I don't know, like anything, because I have my clients do the same. Like, when they do like a show, I always tell them do a photo shoot, like just don't do it. Like get photos. You want to create some memories, like create some good memories, because like this is stuff that, how can you tell your story if it's not interesting? Like no one wants to hear a story of someone who's not interesting. They want to hear a story that is interesting. And that what makes you interesting when you do things, right? When you do just cool stuff, how you write your story, do you want to be the victim or the hero? Do you want, like, think about the people who's listening to your stories, like, when you're talking, like, do you want something that's like victorious or the victim? You know what I mean? All like, man, yeah. Because I hear it myself. Like, I've heard people came up to me like, oh, I broke my knee in high school, tore my ACL, and now they're 40. They tore their ACL at 18. They're 40 years old, overweight, and they're still on that same story. And when someone says like, can you relate? I'm like, I can't relate. I tore my Achilles tendon in my mid-20s, and I did a bodybuilding show the same year. And my first promise when I tore my Achilles was pretty much because I was still partying at the time. I was like, I want to go to an ultra festival, because that and it's fun. Here's a quick story. So I was working at a gym, and met my friend Arlen, right? It's actually at Equinox. I was working at Equinox. I met my friend Arlen there, and we like house music. So he's like, we should go to like a ultra or like a dance party. And I was like, yeah, man, like we could listen to house and we could be like shuffling. Yeah, bro. And then literally, like once we made that plan, like literally a week later, I tore my Achilles, and he's like, I don't know if you'd be able to make it. And I was like, I know, don't say that, man. You're putting negative shit in the air. I was like, I promise you, I'm going to be dancing by April for this, by March or April, by this dance festival. That was the first thing. And even when I went to the orthopedics, they were telling me like it would take a whole year for it to heal up. And I was like, I don't want to hear that. I literally looked at that. I was like, a year for Achilles tendon? I don't want to hear that. I was like, what's the shortest amount of time someone can heal? Okay, he was just telling me a year. I was like, how long does it take for Achilles tendons to heal? Oh man, it's different for everyone. For some people, like 6 months. Some people a whole entire year. I was like, whole entire. I don't want to hear that, man. I was like, what? Maybe let's rephrase the question. What's the shortest period of time you ever saw someone in your office? Because he was a sport orthopedics. He said like he worked with Dolphin players, Miami Heat. So I'm like, if you work with these people, how the hell I see guys with torn ACLs, they're back on the court like 4 months later, 3-4 months later. What are you talking about? Like literally on the court playing like 3-4 months later, like literally. I was like, so what are you talking about? And then he's like, well, yeah, you're right. And then he's like, yeah, about 4 months. I was like, what's the shortest? He's like 3 months. He's like, but this is like elite athlete style, this is people who's like, they got it in them. They just heal up fast. They just fast healers. And I was like, well, that's what we're going to do. I was like, 3 months. I want to be walking and running by 3 months. And in 12 weeks, that's what happened. I was walking and running. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't like sprinting like super fast, like full speed, but I was running. And I had the confidence. I was working out, like, I was able to dance, and it was so good. Even this, I don't even think this magazine exists anymore, but it's called, I think it was called Vegan Bodybuilding and Fitness Magazine. I think it was called that, I forgot. I have the magazine somewhere, but they actually did an article on me about that recovery. You know what I'm saying? I actually have the magazine, but like I have to pull it out. But but they actually wrote an article about the whole thing and how it recovered. And then obviously, me being vegan, they said, oh, because of plant-based lifestyle, it's like something also throw some sauce in there, and I believe it definitely helped me being plant-based. I think it really helped, but hopefully, I know I again really went deep into that question, but yeah, hopefully that was motivating. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go. Oh, and just one more question. I'll just answer this one. Weight loss tips. So some weight loss tips is very simple. Number one, you want to be in a caloric deficit. That's number one. That's how you're going to be able to lose body fat fast. So, for example, best thing to do is take your lean body mass and times it by 10. You'll get your total caloric intake for weight loss, and that's going to give you a good average of what you need for total calories. And then after that, you want to make your macronutrients by using the 30, 35, 25, 40 principle. So that means 35% of your proteins, 35% of your calories is come from protein, 25% of your calories is come from carbs, 40% of your calories is come from fat. That's the golden ratio we use for most clients. Not every client, but most clients for weight loss. There is some exceptions, but for most clients, we usually give them that 35, 25, 40 rule. Okay. And then you want to do that on a consistent basis. Number two, use MyFitnessPal. Make sure you're tracking all the things that you're eating to make sure you hit your total caloric and your macronutrient goals. And then also track your weight weekly and work out, obviously do some workouts, do some cardio. I would start off like 20, 30 minutes a day, but because that's going to help burning calories. But weigh yourself every single week, because you want to make sure that everything that you're doing, you're seeing results. And that's what speeds up results, is by doing it every week. Now, some people might argue and say, well, if you're checking the scale too many times per month or per day, that can get you obsessed and motivated, demotivated. But that's if you look at weighting yourself that way. See what I'm saying? You have to take accountability of the actions that you're doing. So you can't just kind of look in the mirror, because when you're looking in the mirror, you're going to see very slower results. And then some people get lost in results by only how they feel. Because obviously, if you're moving more, yeah, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel better. But if your diet's not right, you're not going to, the changes, how your body composition is only going to change so much. So in the beginning, you might see some results, right? But then you get into this plateau and you don't see results anymore. Then you start getting into this mirage stage where you're like, I'm just going to keep doing more and keep doing more. And I'm going to start, like eating healthier and drinking more water. Like, you're doing all this basic stuff that really only makes the needle turn just a little bit. And then you feel like you're going in the right direction, but the results are so small. So to not fall into that trap, which is mostly a plateau state, right? You want to track your weight weekly, because then if you see the changes, then you do the average of all your changes within that whole entire month. And then you start tracking that every single month, how you go. And especially if you start tracking it, if you have like a bar graph you could draw, or if you're just writing in the numbers, if you see there's a trend that every month is going down, you're in the right direction. But if you see that it's like there's a drop, and then it's like no change, month 1, month 2, month 3, no change, then maybe 5 more pounds on month 4, month 5, 1 pound, month 6, 3 pounds, month 7, it went up. Like, you see results like that, you're setting yourself up for failure, because it's like you're eventually going to get either A, you're going to get tired of just trying to figure it out on your own, or B, you're just going to give up. because you're going to get so frustrated and you're just going to be like, A, I'm just going to stay how I am because this is how I am, or B, you're just going to go backwards. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I feel tracking is extremely important. It's extremely important. But hopefully these are some great tips when it comes to everything. Now I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.